Hello, everybody. It's Questlord, and I've got Carlos and TPB with me.
Hello.
Hey,
And so it's the end of MPC Season 1. Um, and yeah, it was a fun postseason. I'm just gonna have the finals match be playing in the background here. And yeah, so is there anything particular about the playoffs that y'all want to talk about?
I guess we could talk about sort of how it went overall,
Hmm.
sort of going over the bracket. Definitely, for me, the thing that stood out was how both conferences were sort of the opposite, in where a wild card team was able to uh, go through the two of the top teams in the division, or I guess how a wild card team upset the number one overall
Oh,
team in
my
the
bad.
left side. And on the right side, it was the number one team that just swept through.
Hmm. Yeah,
So it's cool to see that parallel.
this is really professional. All right. So yeah, you'll see in the video. It's really bad. Anyway, um, but yeah, I kind of had a fairly decent time in in that right side bracket. I kind of so I actually had my first win against Mimo. So I lost twice against him, and my first win against him was in the final. I mean, it wasn't the playoffs. I mean, so that's good. And then I had a pretty decent game against Chabs, and that was a really good game between Chabs and Destin, though. If you guys saw that. Um,
Yeah.
but
Rip
yeah,
my voice.
but yeah. Really, for me, the decider of the left side bracket was the game between Carlos and Brandon. I feel like whoever won that would, and Rogue could upset, um, but it was just kind of unfortunate that Carlos got fourth. Um,
Yeah, fortunate for me, in playoffs, I had unleashed Starmie onto the league, and it was a mon I didn't really use much after I traded for it, but someone recommended this one set, which was offensive Starmie. I think I ran Specs or Life Orb or whatever,
Vex
but
Analytic.
yeah, Specs Analytic recommended by TPP, and this that set just it opened my eyes to Starmie. Just like with Heatran this season, it became my central mon, which definitely helped a lot versus Brandon.
hmm
And after much time, I've realized how to use it a lot better. And definitely the battle versus Brandon was really huge win for me. I mean, it's a playoff match, but he ended up being the leader in the conference, and although in my battle versus him, I did get a lucky freeze, which turned the momentum in the battle. It was a really close match where I there were many times where I thought he was gonna come back and get it.
hmm Um, but yeah, both semifinals match, I thought were pretty clear cut. Um, I did prep with Rogue, and it just so happened that he did get a little bit unlucky, but overall, I feel like you definitely had a very good control of that game, and he just didn't have that good of a matchup against your team. And then I felt like I did pretty well against Chabs, and I prepped pretty well. And then so to the finals, uh, I played really bad. Um, I was like straight up like spacing at the in the first two turns. I was like not paying attention because I had some intrusions in the middle of play. Um, some people uh, kind of had to talk to me, and I wasn't really realizing what I was doing. And I was like, wait, shoot. And then I started focusing a little bit after the first two turns, and I was at a very big disadvantage. I did a okay job of coming back, but really, I couldn't win once he had webs. It was a Scarf Flygon, Scarf Defog Flygon, just for webs. If webs were not on field, I would have won. And I really wait. Who prepped with me? It was shoot.
Chew and Mimo.
Chu had a brilliant idea for this P2 set that you are seeing, and it was Psych Up as a hard counter against Suicune. I thought that was a really, really good idea.
Yeah, and I definitely misplayed how to get around that thing. I should have realized that, hey, if I set up more, that's really bad. I should just like spam Scald until I die or something like that. But it ended up working out because either way I could still come out with Heracross and finish it off. But if, let's for say, webs weren't up, uh, setting up there till max was definitely would have been an awful play because you would have just swept there.
Yeah.
But I do think earlier on when you like with Raikou, there you definitely had a chance to come back right there if not for me having Yachi Berry.
Yeah, if you didn't have
So
that Yachi Bear, I definitely would have had a pretty good chance of winning.
So I definitely had some fortunate sets. Like some of them worked out in ways I didn't expect, and it ended up being very clutch. But I knew once Flygon was down, which was part of the reason I was wanting to sack Heatran.
Mm-hmm.
I could get webs up and
Yeah.
have him stay there.
I even literally thought about that exact situation. I was like, I don't care. And then because for some reason, I don't know if it was like the calc's fault, but it said that it only had like a 20% chance to kill or something like that.
So I was physically defensive.
Uh-huh. Oh, I was talking about the HP Ice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It didn't. I don't. So you probably had like a different set than the one I was prepping for.
Yeah.
But after I calced that, I was like, I should be fine, even if he has the Yachi Berry. Not is he Yachi?
I will say Yachi's for ice. I will say for Heatran, the berry bring was 50-50 for me. I highly considered Chople for Weavile's low kick because I was just terrified of Weavile, but I figured the only way for it to be like really bad not to have Chople was if you were banded or really offensive, which I didn't expect. So, and I figured with webs being so important, if I had multiple ways to kill Flygon, it would be better.
Yeah, and I definitely agreed with that play, and I was just like once the Yachi Berry popped on Bulu, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't win. I'm trying. But yeah, Chandelure definitely had a chance to sweep, but I actually wait, did you have EQ?
On who?
On Heracross.
I had here. Let me pull it up real quick. I know I had. What's that multiple use bug move?
You had Pin Missile, Close Combat, and Knockoff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You had Knockoff. So I think you would have. I think you would have killed Chandler either way. Never mind.
Yeah. But if you were at higher health, I think you might have had a chance to live.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%
and
sure.
if I got the Trick Room up, and well, no, it was I was the Dark Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clover. Yep.
Yeah.
I will say you had some pretty insane. You pull out a set every other turn, and my mind would just be blown.
Yeah. Choose so good at prepping, man.
If I didn't have like a couple items here or there, like there were so many times you could have.
For sure. Even like in that comeback where I completely threw the first 2 turns, I still might have come back because my sets were like really, really good.
Yeah. There were just so many good sets in this. It was a fun match, despite it. And it was much closer than what was it, like a 3-0, 2-0.
It was.
I could have seen that. I could have seen that coming out as a 1-0 or a 0-0. Like it was so. That was.
Yeah, and if I really wish I didn't throw. It's so unfortunate.
I mean, I could see it happen even if you were like 100% focused. Where that knockoff play with Weavile, I know many people have done that, including myself in the past, where you look at a calc and you forget about the item being gone.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that other than the beginning of the first 2 turns, I thought it was a very, very fun match. And it was really close for a long while. And I thought I had the sweep with P2, and I was like, oh wait, he has Heracross. Shit.
I've been waiting all season for Heracross to do something, and it finally came out clutch when I really needed it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I still had Fly, and I even thought about U-turn too. Oh well. All right, so that should be good with the playoff talk.
Playoffs.
So now let's move this. This is really professional. My bad. All right.
We've been out of the game.
All right. So I have. All right. So now we have the Major Pokemon Circuit Season 1 awards. So our first category is the 7th Pokemon of the season. And, you know, we really talked about a bunch of different ones. Let's go to some of the ones that got brought up. But anyway, so your top 5 here are Reuniclus, I can't say that, Reuniclus, whatever, Aromatisse, Vikavolt, Crawdaunt, and Gardevoir. All did pretty well for the respective coaches. However, the Pokemon that unanimously, I think it's unanimous, unanimously we felt impacted this team's both record and just overall, like, to prep for and all that, was Vikavolt. So, y'all want to talk about Rogue's Vikavolt?
Yeah. So first, the qualifications for 7th Mon were 6 games or less, and Vikavolt only went to 5. It didn't even go to 6, and it got 11 kills for Rogue. So that's an average of 2 kills per game for Rogue, which is insane, especially for like such a low-tiered Pokemon. But he used it really well and fit it in offensively with his team, and it just did tons of work.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely when he first picked it up, I've thought about using Vikavolt before, but when he traded me Galvantula and picked it up at that time, I don't think anyone believed that it was a good move. And with how he used it so well, the agility set was one that I definitely prepped for hardly.
Do y'all know what
playoffs.
week that was?
Week 7? I don't know. I just remember week 7 was the hype week.
Yeah. Oh, I found it. All right, look at this professional business. All right, keep talking.
All right, so with Rogue, he opened my eyes to Vikavolt because like, I drafted it in another league as a tier 5, and it's like my kill leader. It has like 10 kills, and it's insane because it can do so much damage, which is like for a lower tiered Pokemon, if you can use it right, you can get tons of kills, and Rogue obviously used it very well.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things about Vikavolt is it not only is it so good offensively, but its typing along with the ability to levitate makes it a really underrated defensive Pokemon. Although it doesn't have like good move pool for defense, just resistance-wise, it can pair up really well against things like Cobalion and other fighting types, and ones that aren't particularly good, especially defensive. It has a really good chance to set up on, which I think is really valuable.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Vikavolt got 2 sweeps in the season, and that's definitely kind of unheard of for this 7th Mon. Just kind of clarification, because none of these other Pokemon like impacted matches more than Vikavolt did when it was brought, and that's kind of the definition of a 7th Mon.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Next,
defensive MVP?
Yep. Move that there. All right, defensive MVP. So we've got Heatran, we've got Tangrowth, we've got Amoonguss, we've got Mandibuzz, and we've got Umbreon. So let's just go through one by one, and then I'll reveal the winner. So Heatran, really, it wasn't actually brought to like as many games as I would thought it would. Um,
But it was brought to every single win.
yes, and it received the most indirect kills of any Pokemon in the league this season, with 8 or something like that in the regular season. So yeah,
Yeah.
really good support Pokemon with both rocks and you ran like Toxic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really good support Pokemon Heatran. And then Tangrowth, again, it only really, there's like probably like 3 or 4 games where it really showed, like Brandon really showed how good Tangrowth was, and how much it really fit with his team. Um,
I think the match against Junior was a good example. I remember he ran a semi-stall team, which didn't work, but Tangrowth and Toxapex just walled the crap out of Junior's team.
mhm. He did receive a loss that game, but it was because he let Junior kind of set up T-spikes, or not T-spike. He just let him set up hazards and stuff. So, but when it was used, he used Tangrowth really well. Next we got a Moongus. I don't know. The Spore really scared a lot of coaches. Halfway through the season, someone brought like goggles. What are they called?
Safety goggles.
Safety goggles. Someone brought the safety goggles against the Amoonguss, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, Amoonguss really made my opponents rethink the matchup against my team. And honestly, one of the best things about it, personally, is since I kind of had a lack of steel types, it did provide me a toxic immunity, which is really good. Since I also had P2, you really don't want to get toxic, so kind of switching into toxic with this proved very pivotal. Also, regenerate is cool.
Yeah.
And then Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz was the most kind of versatile defensive mon on this list. One time he brought, I think it was like week 2 or 3. It was like week 3 against me. He brought the Nasty Plot Air Slash.
Yep.
That was a cool set, and overall he really used the Mandibuzz well. And if he didn't have Mandibuzz, I really feel like Mimo wouldn't even be in playoffs.
Yeah. Mando was like the one memory I have of it is setting up a nasty plot with my Thundurus, thinking he would switch out with his Mandibuzz, and he just straight OHKO'd my Thundy.
What week was that?
Like week 4.
Oof. Rest in peace. Those replays.
Rip Thundy.
Rest in peace, old replays. And then last.
Nah, they're back.
Oh, they are?
They're back.
Dope. All right. And then last.
Off topic.
Sorry. Last we've got Umbreon, who kind of halfway through the season when Bloopy and posted. Halfway through the season when they kind of started figuring out their team, they busted out the double wish passers with the Umbreon and Vaporeon. And if we could kind of split this into 2, we would also put Vaporeon because they kind of did the same thing. But Umbreon was brought to more weeks, and I thought generally had more of an impact. And against Austin, it really crippled him, both this and Registeel. But yeah, Umbreon I thought was a kind of a unique choice just because of that double wish passer team that they kind of carved. So yeah.
Yeah.
Any comments before I reveal the winner?
I mean, all these Pokemon were huge parts of the coaches' teams. Like you said with Umbreon, that double Wish Pass core was insane. I just drafted one in my other league with Umbreon because it just inspires so much fear in the opponent's team to know that they can kill one Pokemon and that doesn't stop them from healing the rest of their team because they have another one right in the back.
Yeah.
And with Amoonguss, I had the same thing where in our finals match, I'm like, safety goggles, I think I need to bring that, or I brought Reuniclus strictly because of Amoonguss, because otherwise there was nothing I could do to stop it. And all these Pokemon inspire that same type of fear in their opponent, but in a defensive way, because you had to figure out how to beat this Pokemon if you wanted to beat that coach.
For sure. And for a lot of these Pokemon, like the minute you killed this Pokemon, you kind of won for a majority of situations. So that's kind of the reason why we picked these 5, because we kind of felt that that kind of that really is the reason why we have this defensive Pokemon category, is because in game, once you kill this Pokemon, you win, basically, if you're not too crippled. And these Pokemon really kind of face off against a bunch of other threats. And yeah, I'm talking way too long anyway. The winner is, hold on, okay, go Mandibuzz. So I've got a replay here.
Woo!
Oof, look at that. All right. Anyway, so yeah, the reason we picked Mandibuzz is because we all kind of felt like that if Mimo didn't have Mandibuzz, more than any other Pokemon on this list, he would not win almost any games. Because you could argue with any other Pokemon, the teams would probably do without them. But with Mandibuzz, we really felt like that, Mimo's use of that Pokemon won him a lot of games.
Yeah, Mandibuzz was just clutch for Mimo's team. I know I'm in one other league with him, and he loves Mandibuzz. Like, I know this sounds stupid, but I would not put it past him to round 1 Mandibuzz for some reason, which is a good thing to show he knows how to use it well. But don't round 1 Mandibuzz. Just a tip. And along with Mimo's team, he also used Mandibuzz to work really well with his core, because he used Mandibuzz, but then he also had the Serena on his team to tank the electric type hits for him. And overall, Mimo used his defensive mons in general very well, and Mandibuzz was just at the center of all of them.
And it also really, complemented Xurkitree, because kind of what happened is that since it was flying, you can kind of eliminate Xurkitree's weaknesses, as well as both Tyranitar, Xurkitree, and Excadrill are all weak to ground, and Mandibuzz was really kind of that centerpiece, as well as Rotom was too, but he didn't really use Rotom that much. But Mandibuzz was that centerpiece to his team and that ground immunity that he really needed to win a lot of games.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We good? Next category?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at this editing. Oof. All right. All right, so next category. Okay. Next category, we've got the offensive Pokemon of the season. So first up, we've got Latios, Weavile, Xurkitree, Tyrantrum, and Scizor. So first, Latios. Latios and Necrozma was Junior's entire team, pretty much. That and Aerodactyl, too, was pretty good for him. But, yeah, Latios got an insane amount of kills. It was tied for first along with Tyrantrum and Xurkitree, and he really used Latios really well, and it was pretty much the centerpiece of his team in the later weeks. The first couple weeks, he used Necrozma really well, but then he kind of led more towards Latios as the season went on. Next up is Weavile, and I really felt that Weavile was the centerpiece of my team offensively, and it, sometimes in some matchup, it single-handedly wins, and that's a really unique aspect to have, because of its offensive typing is so good. And also it's really fast, and it has that really good ice priority. And yeah, even though it wasn't brought to too many games comparatively to these other ones, it did get a lot of kills. We should do a kills per game stat. That'd be cool.
Vikavolt wins.
Yeah, I think Vikavolt wins. But
Vikavolt has 2.2 kills per game.
Oh,
I can do that in the background
is that
if
a
you
stat?
want.
All right, sure. Weevil's up there. Anyway, next we have Xurkitree, and we really felt that Mandibuzz was his defensive core, and kind of the centerpiece of that. Xurkitree was really Memo's offensive centerpiece, and Xurkitree straight up like kind of saved Memo's ass a couple weeks, just because mainly because of his Z Hypnosis set, where he would hit Hypnosis, get that speed boost, and then tail glow up, and then just win.
Mm-hmm.
That really that happened like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It was insane how many times he pulled that off. Next we got Tyrantrum, kind of like the fan favorite Pokemon of MPC Season 1. I think he is fan favorite. He's like the only Pokemon that everyone voted for in the All-Star game. But yeah, fan favorite, has the most kills and the best. Yeah, he's the best KD in the league at plus 15. Tied for most kills, and just choose him really good. And for what round was he drafted in? One of the later ones, like round 8. Definitely made him Tyrantrum. He was
this thing was drafted pretty late. It was round 9.
Yeah, and for a round 9 Pokemon to have so much impact on his games, it was really impressive. And then
one of the best value picks.
For sure. I would say the best value pick of the draft. And then last we have Scizor, who, again, like Xurkitree, really pulled through with the various Dream coaches. But yeah, there were like 3. Yeah.
There were definitely multiple.
Rage was there for 1 week, remember? Anyway, Scizor swept a couple times along with Xurkitree. So yeah, hold on. So the winner of the offensive Pokemon of the season, no surprise, is Tyrantrum. So yeah, someone take it over.
Tyrantrum was tied for the kill leader, and it was also a 9th round pick. Like, it's insane. For such a low picked mon, how many kills it got, it was just crazy.
Hey, does anyone know what week he swept with it?
Every week. I don't know.
Oof. All right, go ahead.
I mean, especially for a mon that in the traditional formats is something really low.
Mm-hmm.
And its typing isn't particularly awe-inspiring. Like, Dragon's really good, but Rock isn't always. It can get walled by a lot of defensive typings really well. But he used it just so well that, as you said, it got the most kills in the league, and it really deserves this award.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Boom. Right. So yeah, here, let me skip it to where it came out. All right, so this was the game against me. There we go. So yeah, for me personally, I had so much trouble with this Pokemon. Like I had like 3 counters to it. I prepped so hard for this Pokemon, and even so, it still did a lot of work against me. But yeah, this Pokemon is really, really good, and especially for that round 9 pick, tons of value, and that Scarf Rockhead head smash just kind of destroys teams, and it's definitely one of the it's one of the best revenge killers that you can have, as one of the best revenge killers you can have as a value pick, just because of just how powerful it is. And yeah, this is the week where he missed the head smash. Tyrantrum almost swept, but that was just a display of how busted Tyrantrum could be if it has the matchup, and we kind of felt like, it being the fan favorite Pokemon of Season 1, we had to give it some award, so we gave it Offensive Pokemon of the Season, also because it was the kill leader.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There were 3 Mons who had 18 kills, and that's Xurkitree, Latios, and this Mon. But Tyrantrum had the highest differential.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
And
For this one,
okay,
we basically just took like the top 5
yeah.
kill leaders.
For the most kills per game, it is technically Reuniclus at 2.4.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, because like
a
4 of its
forfeit.
kills were from a forfeit.
Yeah.
So it's technically number 1, but then after that, it is Vicable at 2.2.
Do you know where Weavile
Yeah,
is?
Reuniclus.
Sorry, what?
Where's Weavile?
Weavile, that is a bit more than less than 1.5.
Oof, that's still really good. Anyway, probably has the best kills per game on the board. Maybe Tyrantrum does. Probably whatever. Anyway, next. Boop. All right. Move. All right. Cool. So next we have finally the most valuable Pokemon of the MPC Season 1. So first, we've got Dragonite, which we kind of felt like was a cool, just kind of a gift to Jordan, because the only reason he won any games is because of Dragonite.
No offense.
And it was pretty much his only good Pokemon. Sorry. But yeah, Dragonite did so much for Jordan, and we really felt like that kind of defined the most valuable Pokemon, because he did, he used it as a sweeper. He kind of used it as a specific counter Pokemon. He had a lot of, pretty diverse sets. One time running Monofly as his only attacking move. So Dragonite number 1, number 2 Weavile, already explained. Weavile did a lot for me, and yeah, really hard to prep for, really fast, good stats, whatever. Anyway, next we have Xurkitree. Again, we already said this. It single-handedly won Mimo numerous games. Next we have Gliscor, who really took a lot of different roles this season. He could do a 6 Pokemon sweep one week, and then the next week he could use it as a really bulky Pokemon. Next week he can use it as, kind of a hazard Pokemon, and in the next week he uses it like a stall Pokemon with Toxic. Like, Chu really used Gliscor very well, and he used it very diversely. And then next we have Tapu Koko, which pretty much was the core of Chabs' and Kevin's team. This Pokemon, while having a lot of doubters as being a round 1 pick, I feel like it does deserve that spot, just because of, like, first of all, it's one of the best pivot Pokemon in the game. It's super fast, and the electric terrain really, really powers up its moves, and it's just good. And it's a really good typing, and it was really hard to prep for, and he used it well. Both coaches, both Kevin and Chaps did. So yeah.
Included in those doubters were me and Noah, I think, at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
However, I think we've both changed our views.
Yeah, we've both
now.
changed our minds, and we can see how, because we both felt like, Koko can't carry a team. He's just kind of like a side Pokemon, but pivot. Yeah, he's just kind of like a good pivot. But we both got proved wrong by both of them, by both coaches. And we now see that it can be a base of a team, and it, of a kind of like a, I don't think the team's very good, but it makes a kind of below average team into a postseason team, which earns its spot as a most valuable Pokemon candidate. Carlos, do you have anything before we reveal?
I mean, going along with the reveal, I think out of all of them, this is the one. This is the one award where I think there was one Pokemon that really took it pretty well over the others. All of them are deserving, but this one Pokemon definitely served the most roles, like you said, and was just really dominant.
Yeah, for sure. And we felt like that again, we've said this a lot, but if he did not have this Pokemon, he wouldn't have a team. And I know we've said this a lot, but it was a pretty successful team, and that Pokemon is Gliscor. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And you already know what clip I'm gonna play. Boop.
Oh yeah.
This is my bad. This is what, week 7?
Something against Junior.
Yeah,
Right?
against Junior. So we already know what happened this game, and is the double dance Gliscor. This basically, along with his defensive use of this Pokemon, this really kind of locked it for us. If he didn't have this 6-0 sweep, then I probably would have picked Coco. Coco would have been my number 1, but with that sweep, I don't know. Personally, it's Coco, but anyway.
I just knew it was this one.
Yeah,
That one.
Gliscor wins for sure. If solely because of this week, as well as all the other weeks, he used it really well. And Chew during the draft, he was like, if I could have one Pokemon, it'd be this. Like, I know how to use this really well, and he really showed us that yes, he can.
Yeah. And with Chew, he didn't really get to draft. He was technically co-coaching with Zone. However, Zone drafted like all of the Mons and then left week 4 or something like that. And then Chew was just stuck with a draft he didn't really like. But then he just had Gliscor, which he loved and did really well with.
And I think Gliscor was definitely, along with Tyrantrum, once he really figured out his team after his own left, we started to see that his team was, or at least he was, a really solid coach in this league, and was able to do really well in the second half with those two leading his squad.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Chew did miss the postseason. We felt that, I feel like pretty unanimously, that he was, of all the coaches who did miss the playoffs, we felt like Chew did deserve it the most. And because of his use of these Pokemon, and he did get 2 awards, which is cool.
Yeah. He gets the award for most awards.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woohoo. Go Chew. And yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah.
Let's. I don't have a slide for this, so just deal. Go. Thank you. All right. Oof, look how professional I am. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about the the best coaches.
The best coach.
All right. Here, you can take this one. So I don't actually have the slide up, but basically, you all voted, and these were the results.
Yes. Everyone in the Discord server was allowed to vote, so that was all the coaches and previous coaches. And the winner was Brandon.
Woo!
Ooh.
Brandon and Rogue were the 2 coaches that had
Go sell it on.
And
that had 11 wins.
Yep.
And they just dominated.
Mm-hmm. Brandon and Rogue definitely, I feel like, deserve that top spot as coach of the season. Even though they didn't get too far in the postseason, I feel like their I feel like their regular season showing was really, really good, especially for each. Just how much differential Brandon got with 27. Actually, Carlos had one less and he won. Anyway, most differential being Brandon, and then longest win streak with Rogue. And actually, it's technically a 10-game winning streak along with that postseason win, which is really insane. A really insane turnaround for Rogue, who was like a below-average team in week 4, but then he just shot up after that.
Yeah, once he started that win streak, because before that he was 2-3. He'd been 6-0'd week 1 by me, and then he just stopped losing until playoffs. Like, it was insane. I'd say definitely at the beginning of the season, no one would have expected this from him. but he really figured out his team and was able to dominate.
And really shine with Pokemon like Vikavolt and Diggersby. Diggersby being one that we all kind of wanted to be a Pokemon that received an award, but we couldn't really fight. Like the offensive category was too tight, and we felt that Diggersby didn't have as much of an impact as some of the other Pokemon did. But Diggersby definitely carried a lot of his games. And once he learned how to use that, and he really used the Vikavolt well, and we also all questioned the first overall Skarmory, but he did use Skarmory very, very well.
Back on the note of Brandon, he used like his entire team besides like two Pokemon that he didn't really like extremely well. He used like Latias especially well. He used Celesteela very well. He had Entei he used Entei and Cobalion very well. He used like every single mon on his team well, and because of that, Brandon was able to pull out 11 wins with the plus 27 differential. And before Rogue got his win streak, he had the highest win streak in the league
for
and,
the entire time.
Yeah, and he even used like Mudsdale well, which is crazy.
He had the most wins in the league for like pretty much every single week until Rogue got that win streak and they tied. But he's still a number one overall coach.
Yeah,
with that differential. So yeah. Yeah. Good job, both of you.
Woo!
Woo. All right. Anything else before we end it?
Just go over the kill leaders real quick.
Oh, right. All right. So top 12 kill leaders of the regular season. We were too lazy to do postseason because I'm very busy. Anyway, and Junior, I will get your logo eventually. Anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm just not going to make you logo, and I'll make everyone else's. So, number 1, we have Tyrantrum. Number 2, we have Latios. Both, and these are all 17. Number 3, we have Xurkitree. All those are 17. And Tyrantrum with a plus 13 differential. Next, we have Scizor with the plus 16, or 16 kills, and then 11 differential. So technically, with the second most, should be second on the board if we went by differential. Next, we have Gliscor with 12 kills and then 3 indirect kills, and with a differential of 10. That sweep really helped. And then we have Heatran with 7 kills and then 7 indirect kills with a plus 9 differential. Next, we have Hydreigon.
Woo!
With 14 and then plus 8 differential. Next we have Weavile with 13 and then 1 indirect kill because someone exploded and I survived with a sash. So that's technically a differential. Anyway, with a 7 differential. Next we have Dragonite with 14 kills and then a 5 plus 5 differential. Next we have Thundy T, 13 and then plus 7. Next we have Latias, who was brought to every single game. One of the only Pokemon in the league to do that.
The only Pokemon.
The only Pokemon.
And one of the few to go to every single win.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
Latias?
Yeah.
Not every match that
okay.
he won Latias was there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that kind of goes along with being in every single game, but anyway.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway,
shout out to Heatran.
Anyway, so 13 kills and then plus 7 differential. And then last but not least, we have Zygarde 50, who was at one point number 1, but he kind of strayed away from it. Hank did, and then 13 kills and plus 6 differential. So, season 1's done.
Yes. Season 2 will be back in January after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is sort of settled. And we know what's broken and not.
Yeah. So, UB Wall is going to be terrible. I'm
drafting it first overall.
If UB Burst has speed, it borderline Ubers. And then I have no idea with the poison Pokemon. Adhesive?
Probably Ubers.
I don't know. I don't think he'll
No.
be Ubers. I think he'll be like Yu.
There will never be a poison type in Ubers.
Oh, true.
I swear, if there's a poison type
I
in
mean,
Ubers, I just said
Arceus.
that, I'm done.
Arceus Poison is literally like no one uses that.
But it's there.
It's technically there. Oh, I lied. Mega Gengar's there.
That's
Oh,
not
true.
his whatever. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see about that. Also with there might even be like also with the new Lycanroc. And there might be
yeah.
there might be some more Alolan Pokemon question mark? I don't know. Anyway, we're waiting for new Pokemon. And also we don't want to start in Christmas time when everyone's busy and with their family. So I decided to push it back till January when we're going to have the draft. And yeah, also Hoopa use unbanned
Yeah.
because it's not very good.
Bring U-turn on every Mon.
Yeah, Scarf U-turn. Everything.
Scarf U-turn Mandibuzz. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, anything else before we go?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead, Carlos.
GG. It was a good season. Excited to get my shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's.
You want a shirt.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shirt's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. MPC season 1 is done. Excited for season 2. Really fun season. Pray for Austin.
Rip.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys in season 2. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.